And we're going to have to fight it out in the parking lot afterwards. And in case I didn't know, based on not bringing a date here tonight, that I was single, when I went to look for something to bring for the food bank, the only thing that I had, because my grocery situation is not so great, I guess, was a box of baking soda. So I just figured no matter what your financial situation, you do want to have a fresh refrigerator, you know? So I still think it's legit. And also, I'm going to abandon everything that I wrote tonight and talk about something that Jill brought up when she said that women shave twice a year. And tonight apparently is one of them, but I didn't get the memo. Anyway, I recently started almost sort of dating someone. I can't really call it dating yet because we haven't been on a date, although he's come to my apartment several times. I don't know. We'll come back to that though, because I'm going to tell this story first. Anyway, so he came to visit unexpectedly, and we were sitting on my couch at opposite ends, because I was trying to keep it chaste, because I think there should at least be one dinner bought before there's any kind of makeout session. Anyway, but because he came over unexpectedly, I didn't have any socks on, that's not like, it wasn't nudity or anything, but my feet are very chilly most of the time, and so as we were talking, I thought kind of just surreptitiously just tucked my toes under the cushion of the couch. And then I guess in a moment of what he thought was going to be sort of romantic or whatever, he grabbed my foot and was like, "Here, your feet cold? I'll warm them for you." And I was like, generally that would be like beautiful, right? Like a foot rub. It's wonderful. Although we haven't been on a date yet. And I haven't shaved my legs in about 3 months. And so as he's rubbing my foot, all I can think is, you're about 3 inches from a leg that's probably hairier than yours. And I can't enjoy the foot rub because I'm panicked. If he had looked at my face, I'm sure he would have thought maybe something was amiss. Because I was just he was talking and he was telling me I'm divorced and I have 3 children, which normally that would also bring upon the same reaction. But instead I'm just staring at my foot going, "Oh yeah, oh that's good, oh 3, awesome, yeah 3 kids, that's super, good for you. Anyway, my foot's really warm now, so why don't you just let it go?" So finally, his foot is, at one point his hand just sort of is resting, he's not rubbing my feet anymore, he's just chatting about, I don't even know what. I honestly have no idea what he was talking about in this moment. But, so his hand's just sort of resting there on the top of my foot, and I was like, oh, holy Jesus, because, just natural gravity is slowly drawing his hand further down toward my ankle, which is where he's going to meet the bit of nastiness that nobody should have to I don't know, experience until at least 6 months into a relationship. This might be why I'm not married. So anyway, so finally his hand, I can see he's turned, the wrist is turned, and he's going to make that move like that, I'm going to try to bring this to the next level. And so I go, "Do not put your hand up my pant leg." And I said it with a bit of authority, but it was more panic, and his face changed, and he pulled his hand back up, and then I realized, well, I'll get to this in a moment. So he goes, "I would never do anything that would make you feel uncomfortable. We don't have to do anything you don't want to do." And I realized in that moment, he thought that I was accusing him of a potential sexual assault. So then I went, "No, it's just I haven't shaved my legs in 3 months and I don't want you to touch that." And so then it's I might as well just let him touch it because now I've just announced it anyway. It was just the worst situation. Anyway, that's my dating life. Here we are. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Thank you. Does everyone feel now like they're much more successful, at least in dating, than I am? We can talk about the rest of my life and I can make you feel successful in all facets of your life. Actually, maybe we'll just do that next. So I have a Valentine's Day story that is specific for Valentine's and that I only tell on Valentine's Day, so I'm going to tell this story to you now. I used to work as a mechanical drafter in a consulting engineering firm in another life. And so one day in reception I ran into one of the partners of the company. And so he's about, at the time he was maybe 65, and I was 24. You don't really need to know that part, but anyway, just to set the situation. So now you've got the idea, I was younger then and he was older and whatever. And anyway, so we stopped just to chit chat because we worked on a couple of projects together, and So this and that, whatever. And as we start to walk away, I realized, oh, it was Valentine's Day. I probably should have wished him a happy Valentine's Day. So just as I turned to, I said, oh, by the way, happy Valentine's Day, Brian. And he's British, so he turned around and he went, what? Because he didn't quite hear me. And I noticed that he had a small heart-shaped tie pin on his tie, right? For Valentine's Day, obviously. And I said, oh, look, you got a little heart on there. And as soon as because like in my head, you know, like if you spell that out, there's a T on it, right? So, and like I can see the word and it doesn't look like a heart on, it looked like a heart on. And of course he's British, so he would never put a D on the end of heart. He would have said hot, a heart on, which would have been fine. But anyway, so I tell him that he has a heart on. I pointed at it but I'm pointing at the tie pin, right? But now it looks like I'm pointing, and I called it little. So like I didn't get a raise that year, you know? Like Valentine's Day is tough, man. So, but the worst was, because like I think now maybe I might have had the confidence, I don't even know if I do, that I might have stopped and explained what I'd done, but instead he went, what? And he looked down at his crotch, because I think he's like, this is the most horrible situation I've ever been in, and I went, see ya! And I bolted. I couldn't stay. That was Valentine's 2000. Yeah, it's awesome. So the hairy leg guy that I'm dating right now. His legs I think were actually less hairy than mine. But anyway, he's also very fit, which is unfortunate. Oh, see, it should be a good thing, but he's more fit than me, which makes it like a weird sort of, like now I have to feel bad about the fact that I don't work out. He's like, oh, I probably shouldn't eat this chocolate cake because I should be trying to be as equally fit as my date or whatever. And he also does a bit of like he's kind of like into bodybuilding. This is not, I'm in a new territory here. So anyway, after the whole couch incident, we did we've been on a few sort of weird dates since. I'm going to need like 2 hours, Jill. I hope that's okay. Anyway, I didn't get to see my therapist this week. So at some point his shirt comes off, and I won't get into it too much. But the fact is, he has like this really well-developed chest, right? And then I've realized this in this moment, that I'd never really been with somebody with a chest quite so developed. And so as I put my hands on his chest, I couldn't help but feel like this is the closest I've ever been to a lesbian experience. I feel, because I sort of grabbed them and then I'm like, do guys even like that? Like, you shouldn't even have these, I don't think. Like, it's like, oh yeah, okay, and they're quite a bit firmer, I think, than mine are anyway. And they didn't slide off to the side when he laid on his back, so I was like, oh, that's cool. So I guess they're different. It wasn't quite like feeling up a woman, but anyway, so that's my latest dating experience. Everybody come on back next week and we'll talk about this more. Anyway, thanks very much, everybody, and have a good night.